Well, it's 4 o'clock in the morning, or just coming up to 4 o'clock in the morning, making a cup of hot chocolate with some porridge. Didn't get much sleep last night because the port jackstay was resonating in the wind, and this seems to be a bit like the joyriding centre over Lymington here, or the entrance to the River Lymington. And still very dark outside, hopefully leaving about 4:30, so in about 35-40 minutes or so. Just got a few more things to do on the charts, a bit of pilotage notes to mark up, lights, characteristics coming out the needles channel, that kind of thing, and then we're ready to go. Well, it's 4:15 in the morning and we're just leaving Lymington, and if you look around you can see the lights on the Isle of Wight there. And back there is Lymington. Well, there's Lymington disappearing behind us, and over to the east it's just dawning. Just behind me you've got quite a few boats anchored off Keyhaven. You can see their anchor lights, and it's just starting to get light now.
Thames, Dover, Wight, Portland. East or northeast becoming variable later, 3 or 4, increasing 5 at times. Fair. Good.
Well, unfortunately we're still motor sailing. We've got about 5 or 6 knots of wind, which isn't a lot, and it's really quite lumpy. It's died down a fair bit, but it has been lumpy, and with those swells we're never going to keep the sails set. We'll probably be doing about, I don't know, 2 or 3 knots, but it'd be painfully slow and uncomfortable. Anyway, 1 hour in and we've done about 6 miles, so I think we're about 5.5, 6 miles south of the Needles, being set by the tide to the west as expected, and good visibility. Got 5 other boats in company with us, and the Needles just is over there. Next update in an hour. Well, it's 8:35 and we can still see the Needles behind us just. Up ahead there you've got the westbound shipping channel, so we're just starting to see some ships now from the westbound traffic. So yeah, another hour, a couple of hours and we should be through that. All good otherwise. Still not a lot of wind, 5 knots. Swell maybe slackening a bit, which is good, but still not enough wind to sail, unfortunately, so we're motor sailing still. The sail's giving us a little bit of balance and just keeping a bit of pressure on and making the motion just slightly better. Well, I think we're halfway now. We've got 31 miles to run according to the GPS. Given that the bearing now is 166, realistically we've probably only got about 29 miles to sail through the water. Wind's picked up a little bit as the tide slackened off. We've got 9, touching 10 knots on occasion. Might be able to turn the engine off once we've cleared the last ship from the west going shipping lane, which is just that away. So, eagerly awaiting, hopefully, turning the engine off. So that's the engine off, peace has returned, we are sailing and we're making about 6 knots through the water, so very happy with
Selling Coast Guard, we're in October, over. Yeah, good October, Selling Coast Guard, go channel 67.
Well, it's coming up to midday and we're definitely over half the way now. In fact, we can see just up ahead the east-going shipping lanes, and I think we'll probably perhaps get our first sight of land in about an hour and a half, which will be exciting. Boat's absolutely smoking across the ocean. We're doing somewhere upwards of 6.6 knots. Nice and steady as well. The swell has kind of flattened out a little bit, and with the speed the boat's going, it's just feeling quite a nice motion actually for the first time today. Sun's out, all is good in the world. So we've got some towing going on here. The tug is on AIS, but obviously whatever it is towing isn't. Look at the AIS and see if it can tell us how fast it's going. I think the tug will clear us, but we're going to have to bear away from the country that's being towed. Well, still can't see land, but we can definitely see the cloud above the land now over the Cherbourg Peninsula, but can't actually make out the peninsula yet. We've cleared the derrick thing being towed, so about another 23 miles till we get to Cherbourg. Still making really good progress, and next update in about an hour. We've finally just gone through 50 degrees north, so we're now 49 degrees 59 minutes, which for us, where we normally sail at 50 north, is practically the southern hemisphere. Well, we got a text from O2 roaming to say welcome to France, so that's a good sign. And I think I can just about make out land through the murk. Visibility's come down quite a bit. Land's only 15 miles away, 13 miles away. So I should be able to see it really, but I think I can just about make it out. So, on the homeward straight. And there is Cherbourg, 4 miles away, 4.65 miles, nearly there. And here you can see one of the entrances. Well, it's 5:15 French time, which I think means it's 4:15 UK time, so exactly 12 hours after we left the mooring buoy in Lymington. We sailed half the trip, over the first time, and we are just coming through the entrance now as I speak. Well, if the channel crossing is as smooth as this all the way, I'll be very happy. And that is where we're headed, 020 degrees. 64 miles to Bembridge Ledge, about 13 hours away at 5 knots. Don't see much of a sunset tonight, I think. In, only 16 hours till we get to the mooring, and only 12 hours till we turn the corner at Bembridge Ledge. There's the, I think that's the Barfleur ferry. That's going back to Poole. I think that gets in at 9 o'clock tonight. Very different heading to us. And back astern, you can still see the Cherbourg Peninsula. Really can't. You can just about make out the entrance to Cherbourg over in the distance there. Yeah, we've been going an hour, so we're about 5 miles north of Cherbourg, with about 59 to run to Bembridge Ledge. Well, we're now 2 hours in, and it's now about another 11 hours to go till we arrive at the corner of the Isle of Wight, through the eastern entrance there, and yeah, probably got about another 2 or 3 hours of light left before it turns to dusk, and we'll watch the sun go down. Very quiet out here. In fact, since we've left Cherbourg, the only thing I've seen is the Barfleur ferry, so nobody else out here. I don't know if that's because it's a weekday, but we're definitely all on our own here with nothing to see. Well, there's the sun getting lower in the sky, and we have now taken the courtesy flag down. So that has gone. We are pretty much out of French territorial waters, and if we're not, couldn't really care. But yeah, there it is. There is the tricolour going away for probably another season, and we will shortly be taking the ensign down, obviously out of courtesy to Her Majesty, which is what you do at sunset, but more particularly because it'll obscure the stern light. So Got a little way to go yet before sunset, and then down with the ensign, and we'll put it back up at sunrise. 3 hours in now, and the sun is nearly setting. There's a little yacht over there, you might just be able to see that, possibly. And up ahead there's a ship, but I can't actually see it. It's 8 miles away, and it's on the AIS is telling us there's a ship up there, about 8.7 miles, almost dead ahead, but absolutely no sign of that at all. Visibility's not too bad, I don't think, but just can't see that ship. So yeah, probably about another half an hour or so and the sun will have set. Well, we're in the east-going shipping lane now. We've got 4 ships up here ahead of us, these little green triangles. Can't actually see them directly with the naked eye, but the one back here, one astern of us, that's a cruise ship which we can see. It's doing about 21 knots according to the AIS data. These ones, let's see what this is. This is sleeping apparently. It's a tanker. Its destination's Rotterdam. Trying to see its speed. It's doing 11.6 knots for something which is sleeping. It's pretty good. Anyway, very handy to have this AIS. It does make you rather nosy though. Just check the sunset. Status on the sunset, nearly gone. Look at that. Beautiful. And there is the sunset. Shame those clouds around the sun there. But you can't complain, that's beautiful. Something very exciting about leaving one country one day and arriving in a different country the next day. It's a bit like when you get one of those red-eye flights back from America taking you home. So yeah, pretty excited to see the end of the day and look forward to the start of the new day when we'll definitely be in British territorial waters and close to Sandown Bay, I would imagine. But for now, that's nearly the end of Monday. That light flashing there, 2 every 10 seconds, is Barfleur Lighthouse on the eastern tip of the Cherbourg Peninsula. If I pan round, you might just see in the distance the lights of Cherbourg. Okay, I think I've figured it. So, the light that's flashing, 2 every 10 seconds behind the outboard, is Barfleur, as we thought. If we come round to the west, I don't know if the camera can pick it up, but there's a kind of fiery glow in the distance in the sky, and that's the loom of the lights of Cherbourg. And if we keep coming round, the actual twinkling light you can just about see in the distance. I think those are the lights from the nuclear power plant down at Cap de la Hargue. What I'm trying to show you is the stars, because it is a completely star-spangled night. It's absolutely beautiful. we just had a school of about 10, 12, possibly 15 dolphin playing with the boat. They're here for about, I'm guessing about 40 minutes or so. Really exciting. Hopefully will have come out on the video, but if not, well, at least I got to see them, because you don't see them very often, and that was just awesome. They were absolutely excited as anything. I don't know if I was more excited or they were, but they were playing with the boat and the bow wave, and the more I squeaked and squawked, the more they put on a show for me. So absolutely amazing. Well, it's all happening tonight. Not content with a great display of nature from the School of Dolphins, not long after, a meteor came flying through the air. So yeah, I'm just being completely treated, and I'm really glad I made the effort to come back overnight. I don't think I've seen either of those things if it had been a daytime crossing. Well, certainly not the meteor. Well, I guess our luck had to run out somewhere. We just snagged a lobster pot. Fortunately, I could see it in the I could see the line in the light of the stern light, so I was able to kill the engine just in time, and we were able to retrieve it and get ourselves free. But yeah, maybe I'm not going to count myself so lucky with all the other things we've seen tonight, because that's something we definitely didn't want to see. But anyway, we're all free and we are on our way and heading back on course now. There's a welcome sight, kettle on. Can have a mug of hot chocolate and see if that can warm me up a bit. Well, the moon is up, a slither of the moon anyway, and over here we have the Ridge TV transmitter that you might be able to see, and the white flashing light is St. Catherine's Lighthouse, and that's 14 miles away. We've still got another 24 miles to run to Bembridge Ledge. The tide has turned now and is really sweeping us up towards the east. I'll show you on the plotter. You can see here how the tide is really starting to take us now up towards the eastern end of the Isle of Wight. So although it's saying another 4 hours 50 to go, it'll actually be quite a bit less than that. Well, those lights there are Sandown. Coming around, we've got St. Catherine's and Ridge transmitted. Back round to the east. It's, I'm guessing there's probably 3 tankers that are anchored, waiting to go into the Solent. So we've really slowed down. Got an issue with the rudder, we're not sure what it is. Hopefully it's just a case that we've picked something up on it, but I definitely don't want to try and sort that in the dark, so we'll keep going for now, and nurse the boat back certainly into the eastern Solent, and hopefully up to the mooring. Just hoping we can still make it into the tidal gate before the tide turns at Bembridge Ledge, because that's going to be a pain otherwise. So a bit of an adventure this trip back. We've had dolphins, we've had meteors, we've had lobster pots, and now we've got some very strange concerning vibration through the rudder. So yeah, pretty much had the lot tonight. Right, it's coming up 04:30 and it's just starting to get light, or trying to. So hopefully another half an hour or so. Certainly sunrise is at 5:30, so it should definitely be light by 5:30. Well, finally it's light. Sun's not up yet, but at least it's light. And we're about an hour away now from Bembridge Ledge, where we'll turn and make our way up the Eastern Solent. So hopefully back on the mooring for probably about 10 o'clock. I wish that sun would hurry up and rise. I'm freezing. Porridge for breakfast, courtesy of M&S. That doesn't warm me up. I don't know what will. So we're just approaching Bembridge Ledge. Go around Bembridge. There's St Helens Anchorage, where all the ships are, and then we'll be heading up the Eastern Solent. Probably 3 hours. Got the tide with us, which will definitely help.